and Rising Media in Bonn, Germany at the climate march. And I'm going to show you here. I'm right now with La Via Campesina, and I'm going to turn it around so we can interview some people. This is what we're here for. And right now, we're going to speak with Jesus. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm Jesus from Puerto Rico.
Try to find a better signal. Oh, it popped back up, but... Hey everybody, sorry, it's a signal issue. There's too many people. Where'd he go? Okay, we're live again. All right, we are live.
Okay, so we're here with the delegation of La Via Campesina and also with the Climate Justice Alliance. I'm Jesus. I come all the way from Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we recently experienced two hurricanes that were very big, Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. Hurricane Maria devastated a lot of parts of the island. Nevertheless, we think it's very important to be here in COP23 and also in solidarity with our international comrades to let people know that climate change is real, to let also people know that climate change kills people and that it doesn't affect all of us the same way, right? And we also find that within agroecology, we can find resilience and resistance around the way that we organize, that we work collectively. So for us, it's very important to make visible the struggles that we're having in Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico right now, there's almost no access to electricity, no access to good or clean water, and in the central part of the island, which is like the rural community, where the rural communities are, there's no access to water. So for us, it's very important to let know that climate change is rooted on capitalism, on colonialism. The disaster is not natural, as other comrades from other groups in Puerto Rico have said. So we're here to show solidarity to our comrades from around the world, and also to make visible the issues that we're dealing here in Puerto Rico. So
Thank you. Thank you. This is Candy Mustard again. I'm in Bonn, Germany. I know there's about a 7 or 8 hour time difference. We're on this climate march, and so I just wanted to share some of the images back home with folks. And so I'm going to go ahead and walk towards the back so you can see, and we'll talk to, who are you?
Hey, this is Jaren. I'm here, part of the It Takes Roots crew, part of the
It Takes Roots.
It Takes Roots to weather the storm, but also to grow the solutions. So that's our theme at COP23, fighting for real solutions. Yeah, it takes roots.
To change the system. We've got it. Thank you, Jaren.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna show some more of this march. We've got a tractor here. It's crazy. Hopefully some of you will be seeing this. So you might not be able to see it till you wake up. I guess it must be pretty late, but holy smokes, there's lots of tractors. Representing La Via Campesina. And this is the big coal mine, Ende Galende. So if you can help in solidarity shutting down this coal mine. The cops on the scene. As always, there's a helicopter up above. Yikes. Flashbacks to Standing Rock. There's a huge dirty coal mine here, Ende Galende, and that's what a lot of the people are marching about. This is just the very, very front, so I'm gonna try to make my way all the way to the back where the people are. And hopefully keep my signal. Again, This is Candy with the Indigenous Environmental Network. Mandan Hiradza Rikara from North Dakota. I'm here in Bonn, Germany for the COP23, which is the 23rd Conference of the Parties around the world within the United Nations that meets within the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So at this 23rd meeting, to try to figure out how to tackle climate change, we're here doing this climate march, demanding real solutions, shutting down things like the fossil fuel industry, shutting down coal mines, shutting down fracking. Those are the problems, but a lot of times in these United Nations conferences, they try to find carbon-based solutions, carbon market-based solutions, and it's a problem. It's a really big issue, and so the people are here to say, we're demanding climate justice, shut down this coal mine here, particularly in Germany, Ende Gelände. So these are the Pacific Climate Warriors we got here. Hello. You guys are live on Indigenous Rising Media. What do you want to say to everyone watching?
We are not Johnny! We are fighting! 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 Keep it in ground! Keep it in ground! Keep it in ground! Keep it in ground! Again! Keep it in ground! Keep it in ground!
Awesome. Pacific Climate Warriors are here. Introduce yourself. Tell us your name.
From Pacific Climate Warriors.
Where'd you come from?
From Tonga, but I live in Australia at the moment, so it's still a very long flight.
What do you want to say to the people watching?
It's really great to see what's happening today. Frontline people are really leading these frontline actions, and this weekend is big for us. We're going to be showing some solidarity with Ende Gelände tomorrow, and then COP kicks off on Monday, and we're just going to be making sure we're in these spaces, making sure our voices are heard.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going up here. It's a really, really, really long march, and so right now the police have everybody stopped. I'm probably using bazillion gigabytes of data, but I don't care because I want all the folks back home in the United States to see that the fight is all over the world, from Standing Rock to Bonn, Germany, to everywhere we ever have to go. All of these folks are here to demand climate justice, and I think it's a really beautiful thing for people to see and to understand that the fight doesn't just stop in one location, it's all over the world. So we have all these different contingents. We're getting over to the cleaner. Stepped in a hole right there. Wouldn't be me if I didn't trip and fall or do something crazy. We got 1.5 degrees. I'm not sure what they're saying. Anybody speak German? So I just want to say thank you to those of you tuning in from wherever you may be. We are in Bonn. I think it's around 1:30 in the afternoon here or something, 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. I forget. I'm not sure what time it is back home. I know it's a lot earlier. This is the climate march in Bonn. It's crazy. All the cops here are actually just carrying cameras. So used to seeing guns. We have a red line banner here. online and sign some petitions. Sorry. Somebody has a Stop CO2 Colonialism sign back there. I see. So, just gonna keep going. I'm not sure how far back this thing goes. Climate revolution, time's up, rise up. That is the message of the day. See Friends of the Earth here. Who else? Holy smokes. If you're just tuning in, this is Candy Massa with the Indigenous Environmental Network. I'm in Bonn, Germany at the Climate March. Friends of the Earth here. Our delegation's in the front, but I decided to just come back here and give everybody a little glimpse of what these climate marches that are continuing to happen around the world and get bigger and bigger look like. In case you haven't seen it, look it up, go online, support everybody fighting against Ende Gelände. Oh, sorry. I haven't figured, does anybody know how to say sorry in German? I know Dankeschön, which is thank you.
Power to the people, power to the people. People got the power, people got the power. Now we can you feel it, now we can you feel it.
Stop cool. Got some vegetables. These are, I think this says eat vegetables, no pigs. I'm not sure what it says. Little kids out here. Holy smokes! It goes way back there. Okay, I might not make it to the back of this march. I didn't realize there was this many thousands and thousands of people here. I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot. There's going to be a second march happening next Saturday, or the 11th. But this is how many people hit the streets at this United Nations gatherings that can't even get in usually on the inside to get accredited. So there's all these men in business suits, predominantly older white men predominantly, that get on the inside of these conferences and make decisions on behalf of all of us. And these are really, really important decisions that are being made that affect us in our communities at a grassroots level. But a lot of times we, the people here, we're not let in during these climate conferences, and that's why you see thousands and thousands of people just hitting the streets to demand that their voices are heard when it comes to climate justice, climate change, fighting fossil fuels. Now imagine if all of us could get in on the inside, we would be able to talk to these UN officials. And right now the Indigenous Peoples Caucus is actually meeting in a place nearby called Cologne in preparation to uphold the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples called UNDRIP, because it's a constant struggle. Now, Donald Trump recently talked about pulling out of the Paris Accord, which is in 2015, 196 countries signed on to this climate agreement, which everybody was excited about. But in reality, that was already a death sentence to indigenous peoples. So while we do need the United States at the table, we don't need to be upholding false solutions. So ultimately, it's up to the people here to say, oh, sorry, everybody will understand. Oh gosh, I'm gonna see how, I'm gonna say it wrong. Thank you though, Astrid. Entschuldigung, I can't say it right. TT, Indigenous Canadian Youth Making World Walks, living a name. TT, Indigenous Canadian Youth. Thank you, Ellie, I'll have to look this up. Plant a tree, folks. It's starting to get really, really crowded now. If you haven't looked it up, you can go onto the United Nations climate site, COP23. I'm going to go up these stairs right here. I know this is bad recording, but let's see if I can get up here. Alright, there you go. You can see that it continues on for a really, really, really long ways, so thousands of people, literally thousands of people marching in the streets of Bonn, Germany, demanding climate justice, demanding a change to the false solutions that are always negotiated in the United Nations conferences. Continue to send prayers, continue to talk about how water is life. I'll continue to report, try to bring you guys the most latest updates from Bonn. The conference itself starts on Monday, so this is the pre-conference Listen to Us March. There's a helicopter flying ahead, so that always triggers me ever since Standing Rock. But thank you for tuning in. If you have questions, just reach out to Indigenous Rising Media. I'm afraid of, I think I got the unlimited plan, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off now. Please share this video out with other people, and just know that there's thousands of people marching in the streets on behalf of everybody fighting for climate justice, and it's not something that just happens in a silo. It's not something that happens in a vacuum. There's literally thousands of people around the world that care about this. Especially for folks that are watching that might not understand, and like where I'm from in North Dakota, they think it's just a few troublemakers or something. It's not the case. It's humanity that knows that we're in a climate crisis. If you have never heard about the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, look it up. It's a really important meeting that happens every year in a different country. This is the 23rd one now to tackle and deal with the climate crisis that actually does exist. They know it exists. That's why they have these conferences. And it's really important that even if in the United States Trump is trying to pull out of having a seat at the table, we're here to say that we're going to uphold the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. We're going to push back against the flaws in the Paris Accord that do exist, that spell a death sentence for Indigenous peoples. We're going to fight alongside our brothers and sisters to keep it to a 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is the rise in temperature that we're already on track to possibly go over. This stuff is not a joke, you know, this stuff is real, that happens around the world when it comes to global climate change. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Share and spread this message. Check out the work. We'll be continuing to post stuff as we're here. And lots of grats. I have this, but it's in German. So if anybody can read German, I have this. It gives you a bunch of information. Tomorrow is going to be a huge action supporting the local people fighting against Ende Gelände is what it's called. So it's ENDEGELANDE. So here, let me turn this around. It's this coal mine right here. Look it up. Please go on and sign the petitions.